Growing up in the village in the western part of Kenya, a town called Kisii, I used to be fascinated by technology, particularly newscasters reading news on TV and telling stories. This was my ultimate dream, my goal to become a journalist. However, my dad had other plans for me. My dad wanted me to become a doctor. You see, my dad was a nurse and he operated a clinic deep in the village. And none of my 5 siblings ahead of me had gone to university or studied medicine. The request for me to become a doctor wasn't a suggestion. In high school, my dad became relentless and wanted me to score perfect grades, which would put me on path to becoming a doctor. The pressure was too much. I remember very well, in my second term, I came home with grades that were not perfect. My dad gave me a serious dress down. Going back in third term, my dad gave me $190 for school fees. I did not go back to school. Instead, I went to the South Rift part of the country in a town called Nyahururu. Within 2 weeks, I had squandered the money and I ended up in the streets. I stayed in the streets for 2 months, after which I found a stranger who was a cobbler and a shoeshiner who took me in and lived with his family for 1 week. The stranger put me back on a bus to go home. When I got home, my mom was really happy to see me. The prodigal son had returned. My dad, however, was angry. He wanted his $190 back. My mom picked from where my dad left and she wanted me to study hard and become a doctor. I became more rebellious. In a span of 2 years, I had gone to 3 different high schools. My grandma heard of what was happening and she sent word to my dad, "Bring me back my grandson." I went to live with my grandmother. My grandmother was kind, loving. Most importantly, she did not impose anything to me, especially becoming a doctor. After high school, my dad grudgingly enrolled me to a college to study journalism. After I completed journalism, I did not land any job in a TV station. Instead, I got a job as a commission-paid sales agent in a financial institution. In 2008, we could learn in the most outlandish way about my dad living with diabetes. He got into an accident, and when we went to the hospital and the doctor performed tests, they asked him how long he had lived with diabetes, upon which he confirmed it was about 5 years. It was evident my dad wasn't doing a good job in managing his condition despite being a nurse. This would be the start of a long, financially straining journey for our family in managing his condition. My dad would get his left leg amputated, and after some time, he got his right eye blind, and in 2013, my dad died from congestive heart failure, one of the serious complications caused by diabetes. The night after his burial, I sat on his grave and started researching more about diabetes. It was clear to me that we did not do well as a family to help him manage the condition. I felt guilt, regret, and wondered if I could have done more to help him had I studied hard to become a doctor. To deal with my grief, I started to blog and write about diabetes on May 5th, 2014. In 2020, my blog and page had grown to 120,000 followers, and I felt that I needed to do more. I opened up a hospital in February in Ngara, Nairobi, called Diabetes Management Medical Center, and with the hospital, I was now able to not only empower people with education, but also offer them affordable treatment, purchase of drugs, and laboratory tests that are necessary for managing diabetes. The hospital has also given birth to a foundation called Kenya Diabetes Hypertension Foundation, where members contribute $3 each month, and they're able to draw from the kitty whenever they have hardships or are in need. In our community, everyone now refers to me as Dr. Zach, not because I studied medicine to fulfill my dad's dreams, but it's because I found my way to make a difference. Thank you.